Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of That Bald Guy. It is August 11th, 2022. Today, I wanted to jump in real fast. I know it's been a while since we've all caught back up. Haven't been on air for a little bit. Lots happened over the course of the past 2 months since I think I put out the last podcast that we had. But yeah, lots gone down. A lot of changes have occurred. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about mindset. And mindset is one of those things that every single one of us has a problem with at some point in time. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're the mailman. It doesn't matter if you're a janitor. It doesn't matter if you're a CEO. It doesn't matter if you're a mom, a dad, a single individual. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't, all the way around the board. Mindset is something that affects every single person. And it affects our daily lives in such a way that what we believe and what we continue to think will eventually manifest itself. So if you're thinking in a positive way, then you're going to begin to have those positive thoughts come true. If you're thinking in a negative way, then those negative thoughts are going to come true, okay? Pretty simple, pretty basic. We all get that concept. I had somebody ask me the other day, well, first off, so just to clarify real fast. So lots happened. Lots gone down. A lot of things have changed. I no longer have been in higher education. I left higher education a little while ago. It's been about 2 months, actually. 2 months since we left higher education. And I absolutely love, and there's a topic for a whole other day. I love higher ed. I love what colleges and universities bring to the table for young folks. And I believe in education. I believe in knowledge. I believe that that's power. The more you know. If I had a producer, that's where they do the tune, dun, dun, dun in the background right now at the same time. But anyway, so knowledge is power. I believe in that. But higher education's gone in a completely different direction than where I did. Yeah, it's gone in a different way. And so I at one point left working in the universities and moved over to work for the universities as a sales rep for a company that would bring science programs from campus to online in order to help facilitate growth. And in all honesty, it was a fantastic product, and it was done very well 6 years ago when I first got on board. So I've been with that company for 6 years. Coming up this November, it would have been 6. And I started off as a director of sales there, revamped the team, did a great, we just killed it. We brought in some folks that just knew what they were doing, folks that I trusted, folks that I knew from the past, previous experiences. And the goal was to build that team up so that as I progressed, the people I brought in would progress, and then we all just make a lot of money and have a lot of fun. And for a while, it was going that direction. It really was. And COVID hit, and boom. Through the roof. You're talking, people were coming out of the woodworks during COVID. I felt bad. Because at a certain point, I'm looking at dads outside across the street in the cul-de-sac with their kids playing ball because everybody's out of work because it's COVID-19. But guess what? I'm busier than I've ever been in my life. It was insane. So yeah, we were very fortunate at that time as a company. We had tons of people that were trying to go from the ground to online because they had to get the students their credits, and we couldn't stop just because of COVID. It's the middle of the term, and what are we going to do for next semester, and blah 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 blah. So mindset. The mindset of the company that I was working for at the time. The mindset of the company was bring in all of this new business, bring in as much new business as possible. Doesn't matter, bring them in. Grow the footprint. And we did. Oh, we did. But there's that old saying, right? Under promise, over deliver. That's what you want to do. You want to under promise, over deliver, right? The mindset should be, this is a great opportunity for us to scale up. This is a great opportunity for us to move in the right direction, but not be greedy, because if we're greedy, then we're going to shoot ourselves right in the foot. But worse, I think we shot ourselves in both foot and both hands. Because what we had done was we brought on so much new business, and we were told to continue to bring on new business, that we got to a point that we could not accommodate all of this business. And then instead of calling just the people that were new clients and saying, hey, we can't accommodate you, we ended up screwing over all of our old clients, all of our clients that have been with us for years and years and years and years. And we couldn't find a way back out. Couldn't find a way back out. Processes, procedures. I mean, there were all kinds of lines that were given to the sales folks of what to say to your clients. And I guess that was fine. It kind of worked for the company for a little bit. It was like a temporary Band-Aid. Still lost millions in revenue and future revenue because of the way the clients were mishandled and mistreated. And it was really sad to see. And it's not like this is the only company that's ever done this. So, I mean, we've seen companies that have gone through this that have done the exact same thing time and time and time and time again. It is what it is. But it's mindset. It's mindset. I had somebody come up. Well, so long story short, I don't work for them anymore. My mindset changed. My mindset had switched, and while I was still working, while I was still with this company, up through 2 months ago, June 3rd, I think it was June 3rd of 2022 was when they called me and let me go. My mindset had changed because I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy with leadership. I wasn't happy with the conversations that were occurring. My clients were great. I loved my clients. My clients are fantastic. I'm a true believer, and anybody who knows me, anybody who has watched this knows that I believe in return on relationship. It is the most important thing that you could possibly have. Go for return on relationship. Invest in the relationship. Well, return on investment. Return on relationship. Invest in the relationship, and you will always, always succeed. Always. So, these people did not do that. Did not return. There was no return on a relationship. It was more so do everything you can to cover your ass. And that's simply because of the people that they had in place. And I say the people, it was mainly one person. Still, poor leadership can destroy culture. Poor leadership can destroy companies instantly. And I think that we watched that occur at this company. But regardless, my mindset had shifted, and I knew that this just wasn't the space for me anymore. I had known that. I was planning an exit strategy at some point. But to be quite honest with you, I mean, they beat me to it. And does it always suck to be told, hey, look, sorry, you're out? Of course it sucks. At the same point in time, we'd gotten to a point of diminishing returns where, even though I was not selling new business at the highest clip in the company, I still had some of the most revenue coming in. And so that makes me the most expendable, because if you're not producing at the highest clip, even if you're not producing at the lowest clip, if you're somewhere in between, but you've got the highest revenue, so you're making a ton of commissions, you therefore are target one, right? Especially, former director of sales for the company, had been in a employee position for 5 years almost, about 5 years. Because we moved back to Kansas. We moved back to Kansas City. I stepped down in Denver. We moved back to Kansas City and ended up taking on a sales role, which was awesome. It was awesome. I loved it. I had a blast. So in any event, by the time we got to where we were, they beat me to it. They beat me. My mind wasn't there anymore. My heart wasn't there anymore. My soul wasn't there anymore. I was still making money and still taking care of all my clients. Don't get me wrong. My strategy was to try to build a business on the side in real estate while still working full time for this other company, and then eventually leave the company down the line. And that's how you want to do it, right? Especially I have a family. I got 3 kids. I mean, that's what you want to do. You want to make sure you need health insurance. You got to have it all provided. Boom, need it laid out. But there's a problem with that. Mindset. You cannot. And I had so many people tell me this. So many people told me, you have to narrow it down. Don't do so many things. You can't do so much. If you do so much, then you're going to it gets lost. You can't dedicate yourself to anything. And I wasn't listening. No, I can do it all. I can do it all. That was my mindset. And it was a good mindset. It was a great mindset. Got a lot of things accomplished, but nothing well. And so nothing else ever took off. But this other company that I worked for, they beat me to it. They beat me to it. And they canned my ass. That shit happens. Can me. Okay. Can me. So, mindset. You give yourself a couple days. It was on a Friday. Never fire somebody on a Friday. If I have any advice for anybody who's an employer, I have released, Jesus, I can't even tell you. I'm sure if anybody who sees this or on Facebook or whatever, if you've ever worked for me, then you know that we have had a lot of firings in my days, a lot of firings. And I'm not proud of that. I'm so proud. It's not choice. It was what it was. It was business. But I've been a part of a lot of layoffs. It's been not so pretty all the time. So I get it. It's business. But you got to give yourself a couple days. I had a weekend. Don't ever do it on a Friday. Fire somebody on a Monday so they can get over it on Monday and Tuesday. And by Wednesday, they're already looking and they're not ruined a whole weekend just sitting there on their butts. Good thing is I was on vacation with my family. I was on vacation. So I got the call. I got the word. Mindset. Where does my mind go? FML. That's where it goes. 3 kids, beautiful wife, dog, people who depend on me, a house, 4,000 square foot house, a mortgage. And she's just like, what do you do? And so you wallow. Mindset. What's the saying I always used to say was, cry me a river, build me a bridge, and get the over it. I won't actually drop F-bombs on here on the podcast. I'll say a lot of other words. We won't drop F-bombs. And if I do, I'll precursor it in the beginning of the show. Cry me a river, build me a bridge, and go over it. Yeah, that's what it was. So we did. We built a bridge. We got over it. We had started we were just about to begin our adventures in real estate. And so we did. And within the first 2 months, 2 months, we put $1.75 million on the books. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that. Mindset. I was at a team meeting the other day, and one of the young ladies on the team asked me, what are you doing that's helping you be so successful? And it caught me off guard because I'm not used to being the person that others ask that question of. And not because I wasn't successful. I've been very successful. I've led sales teams by being the number one salesperson for years and years and years. I've had teams that I managed and directed that I was number one in the companies for years and years and years. Like, it's not that I don't know success. That's not why it caught me off guard. It caught me off guard because I'm the one who's used to asking other people in group settings so that they can share with everybody, right? I'm used to going, hey, John, hey, Megan, what did you do? What are you doing that is causing you to have this great success? Share with the group, right? That's a question. It's what we all know. Julia, tell us. Julia, if you're watching this, you got called on a lot. She asked me the question and I stopped. I didn't know. I didn't know. And I said, I'm really driving the leads hard that we're getting in. I'm really I'm taking everything I can, and it's a numbers game, and I'm just really pushing them. And that was all I could really offer. And I felt bad. I didn't have a secret sauce. I didn't have hey, this is how it all breaks down. I mean, it was some luck of the draw. Uh, it was just me, I guess. I don't know. Um, it was mindset. And I couldn't put that into words for her yesterday. So Tara, I'm putting it into words for you right now. It's mindset. Never in my life have I been as worried as I was on January or on June 3rd of 2022. Never in my life had I experienced a knot in my stomach that I couldn't get rid of. No matter what, I couldn't get rid of it. I'm a very fortunate individual. I have a very supportive family. I don't just mean that in the sense of my wife. My wife, number one, has always, since I've known her, been my number one strongest support. But I also know that my family, being my parents, God bless, are both still alive and have always been a support system for us. So while, yes, we've been very fortunate as an immediate family, and I knew that we were good for a while, trying to figure out what that next move is. And I mean, I know that there are thousands, millions of you out there who have experienced the same thing. The unknown is the scariest thing that you can possibly encounter. Not knowing where the next paycheck comes from, not knowing where the next meal comes from, not knowing how your kids are going to grow up because you weren't good enough for something. And that's the mentality. That's it, right? But it has to shift. And what happens then is that survival. There's one of two things that happens. You either fall into a deep depression and you allow that depression to consume you. And you go down a black hole and all of a sudden you're there, you're stuck. Doom. Done. Donezo. I mean, how many people have we seen go through that? How many people? I mean, I'm sure all of us have. Everybody has somebody in their lives that they've watched go down the dark black hole and just not recover. I've seen it. You've seen it. We've all seen it. But that's only one of two options. The other option is get off your ass and do something. So I chose the second. I was hungry. And I'm not saying that everybody has to be hungry in order to be successful. That's not it at all. And I'm not saying that not everybody out there is not working hard. That's not it at all. I'm saying for me, what happened? I felt bad because I couldn't give an answer to somebody when they said, "What's your secret sauce?" And really, at the end of the day, it was, I got an amazing wife, 3 beautiful children that depend on me. And so I have no choice but to get off my ass and get out there and do everything I can to get business done. $1.75 million in business on the books in 2 months. Because I had no choice. You put a rat in a corner and see what happens. It's no secret sauce. It's not Facebook ads or Instagram or social media or, yeah, I mean, it all helps. Those are all, means to an end. But no, I had no choice. I was hungry. I had no choice. I didn't have another job to fall back on. I didn't have another paycheck coming in. I had no choice. We have been very, very, very fortunate. God bless, to where we have been able to raise a family on a single income over the course of the last 10 years. I take nothing for granted. My wife, my family, we take nothing for granted. But all of a sudden, when it just nothing, you go from there to nothing. Wow, those hunger instincts kicked in. And again, there are two options. It's eat or be eaten. And I was not about to allow a darkness from inside of me to eat me alive and consume me and my family. Mentality. That's what it comes down to. Success is bred by individuals who are continually striving for perfection, knowing that it's an unobtainable goal. Mentality. My story is unique, but it doesn't have to be. So many people out there have gone through what I have gone through, but gone through it so much worse. I've had it easy, and I know that. And so I don't use my story to say, this is not a pity me kind of a story. This is me sharing my experiences with you, hoping that there's somebody out there that needs to hear this. You're never done and you're never counted out until you count yourself out. A buddy of mine always said, he was one of the first, and I'll never forget it, in college. And I know I've said this before, and I don't know if I said it on a podcast or said it on TikTok. I don't know. But I know I've said it before. So Dave Mayer, thank you, Big Dave, for saying this to me a long time ago when we were in college. We were just in college. And he said, Raj, he goes, the second you think you might lose a fight, you've already lost. And he was actually talking about a fight. He wasn't talking about just life in general. He wasn't metaphorically speaking. He was really talking about a fight. But it's true for everything, right? The minute you count yourself out, you are done. You're done. And there are secrets to sales. Of course there are. There's, you want to find your bottlenecks. How many contacts do you need to make in order to schedule an appointment? How many appointments to land a contract? How many contracts, do you need to land in order to make sure that, a certain percentage of them finally close? And once they close, what's your retention percentage look like? How many outbound calls are you making? These are all trackable things that can help in business. Sure. But nothing is more powerful than a hungry mind and a hungry heart. Mindset. So, I guess at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, Tara, in order to be the most successful version of you in the field that you choose, I'm not saying quit your job. I'm not saying lose your job like I did. Find your why. Find your why. Once you find your why, then you can find your hunger. And once you find your hunger, you can do just about anything. Sales is cutthroat. It is. Real estate is cutthroat. How many thousands of agents in a city vying for a select pool of people? They say you run into the same 10% all the time, the top 100 all the time, whatever it is. Make sure you're that top percent, that top 100. Make sure that people know your name. Be hungry. Every means, whether it is social media, whether it's door knocking, whether it's having business cards to hand to somebody on the street constantly, like one of our associates does. It doesn't matter. If you're hungry enough, you will find a way. Now, when it comes down to beyond that, when it comes down where to go from there, well, that's an episode for another day. So, I leave you with this, as I've now ranted and rambled for almost 30 minutes. As you wander through your lives, as you go about your days, don't forget why you do what you do, no matter what it is. Whether you're a stay-at-home mom, which is one of the hardest jobs anyone could have. Stay-at-home parent, mom or dad, either way. Whether you're a nurse, or a lawyer, or a teacher, or a real estate agent, find your why. And it can't just be a why of, I like to help other people. That's a good why. But that's not the true why. Find your why. Find your hunger. And from there, it'll all fall in place. All right, coming up on our next couple of podcasts, we've got a bunch of folks that are going to be joining us. Bo Flores joins us, photographer, between Puerto Rico, Kansas City. I mean, he's been to Chicago. He goes to LA. The man is all over the world, to be quite honest. Bo Flores is going to join us next week. We're going to have him on one of our upcoming episodes. We're also going to be talking to my cousin, John Craig. John has been, well, he's got a story to tell. So if you want to hear about the ins and outs of what it's truly like to be in max security, Fed Pen, you're going to want to tune in. This is going to be a good one. It's going to be a long one. It's going to be a good one. When Johnny and I get talking, it gets pretty intense. So join us for that. And then Justin Bringus of Bringus Home Group is going to be joining us from San Diego, California, one of my favorite places in the world. If I had a chance to move back somewhere, I truly think it would be back to San Diego. I mean, or that area, Del Mar, La Jolla. God, it was great. I absolutely loved living out there when I did. So Justin's going to join us. Justin used to work with me at Ashford University long time ago in another world, and took everything that he learned there and he brought it over to the real estate world and he applied it to his teams, and he has just been killing it out there. So we're going to have him on the show to talk to us live from California and share with us his tips, tricks, secrets, and give us an update on the market overall in his estimation. Now, look, I know California's a lot different than the rest of the country, but it is still a barometer. So it's important for us to talk about it here. So make sure to tune in coming up. Again, my name is Roger. I am that bald guy. And hopefully somebody somewhere got a little something out of this today. Thanks again, everybody. Remember, have a great mindset. Continue to think positive thoughts. Continue to drive yourself forward. What you want to do, you can. It's just a matter of you pushing to get there. Be safe, be blessed. Deuces.